Good afternoon again. Still out here on the Beneva roadside, but I'm getting ready to travel a little bit, get the sign seen elsewhere also. Another item from 2009, from August of 2009, continuing to present examples of work that I provided on behalf of our nation and people through the recent years that I think indicates good qualifications, good interests, and good concerns on behalf of our people and nation. The particular item is hopefully not too much of a serious concern, but back then and still I think that it might be important. Uh, the subject being the choice of the name Department of Homeland Security. It's a very, of course, excellent idea to have a specific department dedicated to the security of our own nation. There's so many divergent other cultures and people, and the trusting of so many from different nations coming into our nation, and so much divergent information available to people from our own nation, etc. It's a good idea to be specifically concerned for our own domestic security. But the word homeland, in and of itself, it you know, there isn't anything wrong with the word in any way. It's just that it reminded me of some allegations that started into my life recently and had occurred before about a particular song that is either from Austria or was used in a famous movie from the '60s about that was set in Austria. The musical named The Sound of Music. Back when I was a kid when the movie was first released back in 1965, growing up in Miami. I do recall my mother took myself and my sister to the movie. Uh, for whatever reason, she took us to a little small theater that I think doubled as a playhouse. And on a particular afternoon, we were the only, if I'm remembering right, we were the only people there. Well, anyway, the movie was apparently important to my mother, and it was, of course, an interesting movie, and I've liked seeing it since. I haven't seen it in many years, though. But recently, what happened was I started hearing a Rolf accusation, and I discovered that it was kind of linked to the father who had staged his death back when I was an 11-year-old in '67. Well, I think anybody who remembers the movie remembers that the Rolf character was a young Nazi who started to participate in the upheaval that transformed Austria into Nazi controlled nation back in about 1938, 37, somewhere around there. I don't remember exactly. 36 in the 30s. So anyway, I didn't like them even when I was a child back then and didn't know anything about different attitudes or behavior or whatever. That the Rolf character is somebody that I really hated. Like other people in the audience, the villain was the Rolf kid, and I was a good guy instead. I had recently, however he actually was, the choice of the name Von Trapp for the family. Of course, anybody would have wondered if there was maybe some kind of a trap. But I do remember that I had respected pertaining to the adult characters in the particular movie. So anyway, enough of that about a movie. But the indication being the particular song. It is a beautiful song. I have researched since recently, but I don't remember right now if the song Edelweiss was actually originates in Austria or whether it was created to be representative of Austria in the movie. Well, it is. I do agree that it is a beautiful song, and I'm not complaining against it. It's just that the word "bless" the verses "bless my homeland forever" uh, is inspiring, but in the movie it was inspiration at first for Austria. And we do know that unfortunately the despot Adolf Hitler originated in Austria, in a border town, Bonn am Inn, and for what I'm not going to try to detail any more of that history. I don't really know much about it, but for whatever reason, Hitler ended up in Germany. So I just wanted to mention that I had concern that since I was hearing Hitler kind of threats through the recent years, and whatever else is said or rumored, that I was always against any kind of indications of Hitler threats in our own nation, is that there are subversives that are from an abuse family that are exactly opposites about everything. And if their influences in movies had resulted in any different kind of use of the word homeland, that they would have the word homeland would have been kind of like a keyword of well, described as being for the United States, but really a matter of partly being taken over by some that are more allegiant to Austria. I know that seems that's kind of ridiculous, the United States being so much more powerful and vast nation, but it could be that there was some and still, maybe the powerful actor Arnold Schwarzenegger was pivoted on in some way about the matter. But anyway, this was just to mention that there had been concern, and I've attached the particular report to this. This is always for people being safe and saved against the Hitler threats. And if you aren't hearing them, it would really surprise you to hear how much of the kind of threat that I hear put into my environments. And they're from a terrible abuse family that was so secretive that I didn't even guess about them, hadn't even known about them, hadn't even known the identities of most of them. Through all of my life until the very recent years. Back during the time when I first began to learn, visit DCF about food stamps when the noisy interference was forcing me to be homeless. I didn't know of any names involved. I didn't know that there was family involved in the disruption of our system. So anyway, this was just to mention that there is still continuing Hitler kind of threats that hidden conspirators like to try to defer to me when they know for sure that I was always against them instead. But their reasoning is that they're molesters that install molesting kind of implants. They don't care about the opinions of the particular persons that they do it to. Certainly, other people experience similarly. I'm just saying that what I experience is loudly obvious, and that they're really of a lot of. I'm sorry, I was balancing my laptop on my knee there and jiggled a little bit. So anyway, they really say a lot of threats, and they would try to establish a Hitler despotism regime here in the United States, and they say burning threats and gassing threats against people. This is always for everyone being safe instead. But I do believe that I'd be a good congressman. Have a good afternoon. Thanks for your consideration.